In this video, I want to show you the Script Workspace and how it works. Now, we mentioned the Script Workspace in the previous video, but let's take a little bit more of a detailed look at it. I'm going to go ahead and fire up a contact sample file I have right here. This is FileMaker's basic starter solution that they have. And what I want to do is go ahead and look at under Scripts, Script Workspace. And once again, we have our keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to press that right now. And that brings up the Script Workspace. If you don't see the left and right sides, well, you don't have it activated. So what I need to do is go ahead and look at the script right here. I can make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to activate the right pane. So once again, the right pane has all the available commands. And on the left side, we have the scripts that were already written as part of this starter solution. And of course, you can resize things here a little bit like that. To create a new script, we press the plus button. We say, go to layout, for example. And of course, then we could come over here, click right here. And what I can do is start to type with my hands the name of the command if I know what it is. Now, of course, I could go over here to navigation and say, go to layout right here and move it over there. And that's one way of doing it, but you have to kind of hunt it down over here. As you start to script more and more, you'll learn what some of the commands are, at least the more common ones. And so, for example, I know to just type go to, and then of course I see go to field, layout, all the common items, and I can just use the cursor key down and hit the return key. And so I don't even have to use the mouse at all. In fact, you'll find that some people really like to only use their fingers on a keyboard and they want to stay away from the mouse. So FileMaker has worked to make sure that most of the things in the Script Workspace can be activated just with your keyboard. I'm going to go ahead and give it a target layout to go to. I'm going to say just go to an iPad layout for now. And so, of course, if I want to test this, I have to save it. So I'm going to go ahead and notice the star up here says it's unsaved. But say, for example, I want to run it and I forget to save it. FileMaker is going to say, hey, we need to save this before we run it. Do you want to save? And you say save all, and then it's going to run that script. That one script ran, it dropped me off over here. So I can go back to where I was. And of course, the Script Workspace is open. So what's really cool about it is that you can build the scripts over here, then you can come over here and test them. You can have it going at the same time, which leads you to another thought, which is that most people who are doing serious development and coding will have at least one 27-inch or larger monitor, and sometimes they'll have 2 or 3. In fact, I have a workstation over here is double 32-inch monitors, and which are basically double 27-inch size monitors, right? I just a little bit bigger because, you get old and your vision is not quite what it was, so you want to be able to have this stuff a little bit bigger. And so whenever I set out a machine with a single monitor and I'm doing any sort of serious development, it really becomes a hassle for me because I get used to spreading things out. Because you're going to want to test it here on one screen, maybe adjust the code on another screen, and then that brings up another area that you might want to look at, and I'm just going to show it to you here, which is the Script Debugger. Now, remember in the previous video I said to turn on the advanced features. You're not going to see the Script Debugger and things like that if you don't have the advanced features turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and press that right here. This pops another window. And so what this window does, it allows us to monitor the step-by-step execution of the script. So if you have a script and it has 20 items on it and you normally tell it to go, FileMaker is going to do those 20 items as fast as possible. What the Script Debugger does, it allows you to execute one item at a time and see what it's doing to find out where the bug is, right? Because you're going to write a script, it won't do what you want to do. You're not sure why it's not working. So what you do is you step through it very slowly with the Script Debugger. So I accessed, this is the window right here is the Script Debugger. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And I was on the Script Workspace here and I activated it from this little bug button up here. However, you can come up here to Tools and see the Script Debugger. And once again, that pops it up. Now, if you don't see anything over here, that means no scripts are running. But if you press the play button right here, now it's attempting to execute the code. And what this is showing you, the next line that'll execute. Pretty cool stuff. So we have a video where we talk about the Script Debugger in detail, just to let you know that it's there and it's very handy. So a couple other features of the Script Workspace. Obviously, when you're in this window here, the menu up here changes. Mac or Windows, it doesn't matter. If you're looking at a layout here, of course, the menus once again change to reflect that. Once again, I come over here, they change. Now, there are some additional options with scripts that you should be aware of. First off, a very handy option is right here. If I press this, this allows me to specifically identify code or script steps that work on specific platforms. And so what this does is say, I want to see all the things that work really with Mac, I want to see all the things that work really with Windows. Now, Mac and Windows are almost identical. There's a couple real esoteric script steps down in the guts of this thing that if you're a brand new developer, you don't have to worry about. But largely, this is identical. There are a couple script steps where server doesn't work. iOS is a good one here. Now, the iOS is iPhone and iPad, and that's FileMaker Go. So we're saying what script steps work with FileMaker Go and what script steps don't work. Well, if you turn this area open over here and scroll down, you'll see that preview mode right here does not work with the iOS. So it's graying out the commands here that don't work. If I put lines over here, for example, I say insert from device. Now, insert from device is explicitly a FileMaker Go command. It's designed to capture the camera, insert barcode, insert a photo, a signature, all sorts of crazy things. And so I'm going to put this right here, and I can say grab a picture and stick it in a field, right? So we could have a photo container field, grab the photo of the person, and you can set the resolution, whether it's front camera, back camera. So once again, we have a FileMaker Go course that talks about that part of it. But what's interesting here is that it shows that we are on iOS, and if obviously you can see this here, it's just fine. And then I can say, for example, I want a print command, right? Now, if I go up here and select Macintosh or Windows, it grays out the line over here. So it grays it out over here if you can find it, right? But it also grays out your code. So you can see that if you try to run this script on the Mac, it's going to get to this line right here and is basically going to skip it. It doesn't know what to do with it. It can't run it. And so it just skips it. Once again, same on Windows because this is an iOS feature. And so you get the idea that there are different clients and there are different script steps that each of the clients support. And of course, in this video, we're still at the very beginning stages, so we're not going to get into that too deep. But just keep in mind that as you build a script or you write a script, first you should know what you want it to do, which means that you should probably do a little planning even on a piece of paper and a pencil or a napkin or something. Kind of sketch out what you want it to do. 2, who's going to run the script? Are the people in the office with laptops going to run it, or is it someone out on the internet going to run it? Maybe they're using WebDirect or some other client, maybe FileMaker Go. So who's going to run it? What is it going to do? And that will tell you how to set this up here, and so it can alert you if you try to run a script step that's not supported. Now, one additional area that is interesting, I'm going to go ahead and put this back to all for the moment. I can go up under here to scripts and just hit save or Command S. Once again, kind of like it was a Microsoft Word document or something like that. And then I come over here and I say, let's say I'm actually in a different file. I'm going to come over to a different file over here, and I'm going to take a look at a sample file that we have from our FileMaker Go course. And it doesn't matter what this does, but I go in here to scripts and I say, oh, I want to copy this script and move it. Well, we can do that. You can come over here and I'm going to say copy. So it copies the entire script. I come back over here, I click down in here, and I can say paste. So it's going to move the script literally from one file to another file. And notice it says table missing and unknown items. Well, that's because the script in the other file was referencing things in this file that don't exist, right? So if you try to go to a layout that doesn't exist, makes sense? So we copied the script. We didn't copy layouts and fields and everything else. So it shows clearly you have some broke items in here. And what I want to show you is that the broke items are highlighted in pink because I have this setting turned on. I'm going to right click right here and say check for problems. So what it is, it's showing us the problems in the script, what I would consider super obvious problems, right? So FileMaker can't really debug your code unless it's like something is obviously broke. It's like if you're driving a car and you're missing an entire wheel on the car. That's obvious, so FileMaker can alert you that a whole wheel has fallen off your car. But if you have a bug down inside the engine that under certain situations the car vibrates a little bit, well, that's something where you're going to want to use the debugger to step through the code to find the error because you know what it is. This really should be relabeled check for excessively obvious problems. And so it highlights it in pink. If you don't see this on your screen, then feel free to come up here, right click it, and then tell it to check for problems. And it'll just highlight it. So this just kind of stays on. Pretty cool stuff. So buttons across the top, we can activate a script, debug a script, check to see what commands will run on what devices. We can turn the panes on or off. Obviously, we have the ability to search over here, search for certain things. Like if I wanted to see scripts with email, it will highlight that. Just some very common sense type features that you'll want to use if you have a long list of scripts. So that's a quick introductory tour of the Script Workspace. I'll catch you in the next video.